Good morning, everybody. I'm up at it very early this morning and reading a bunch of different stuff. First, let me start with Dinesh D'Souza. As y'all can see here, old Dinesh D'Souza was pardoned by T-Rump because, he's a criminal. Only criminals get pardons. And T-Rump is associated with many criminals, especially those in Texas government. Now let's talk about 2,000 Mules, the conspiracy film that D'Souza pushed, along with Republicans here in Texas, such as Sid Miller, Lieutenant Dan, and Ken Paxton. True the Vote, that's a conservative group, they're out of Houston, tells judge it doesn't have evidence for ballot mules conspiracy theory. A court filing from the group is the latest acknowledgement that claims of widespread 2020 election fraud were baseless. How funny is that? Well, let's read a little more here. The group, which was heavily featured in Dinesh D'Souza's viral documentary, 2,000 Mules, claimed that the ballot mules worked with a network of left-wing organizations to steal the election for Joe Biden. The film and its claims made a huge splash, and Donald T-Rump praised the True the Vote for supposedly exposing great election fraud. But in responding to a subpoena for any evidence supporting those claims, the group come up empty-handed. Go figure. Now, you on that far right, there's plenty of articles you can read about this, okay? Don't just take my word for it. Go look at all these articles and stuff that are out there. Woo, shit. I talk about this all the time about Texas corruption and how they played a part in January 6th, insurrection even. Now let's take a look here at Sid Miller there in the cowboy hat, Lieutenant Dan in the middle, and impeached Ken Paxton. How the debunked conspiracy film 2,000 Mules became Texas Republicans' orthodoxy. Now, these three, as you can read here, we're pushing 2,000 Mules, and we're getting the churches to play it to the congregation. That's right. Pause to read that right there. Even Lieutenant Dan and 3 other Houston area legislators sponsored a watch party at a local church in June. What? Now, this film was shown at like the Prestonwood Church, Cottonwood Creek Church in Allen, Texas. Where Republican senator here in Texas, Stanford, is the preacher and overseer of that church. But anyway, let's read a little more. Texas agriculture, Sid Miller, who has a history of spreading political falsehood on social media. No, say it ain't so. Recently cited the filming as part of the reason he continues to believe that 2020 election was stolen from former President Donald T. Trump. In June, at the same time that millions of Americans were tuning into the first congressional hearing on the January 6, 2021 insurrection at the U.S. Capitol, Miller was scheduled as a special speaker at a screening of 2,000 Mules by Dallas Jewish conservatives, according to the group's websites. Woo! As they say, everything's bigger in Texas, especially the Texas GOP corruption.